friends, in today's video I'm going to show you the Learn to Sew Kids sewing curriculum for teens. So I have another video on my channel already of the Learn to Sew Kids girls sewing curriculum, but this one is specifically for teens. The biggest difference is this right here. The Sewing Basics workbook is the same for both the girls and the teens. I'm still going to go through that here in case you didn't watch the other video, but that is the biggest difference. So if you're wondering, if you have an older child and you're wondering if they should get the girls or the teen level, then check out both videos and you can decide which one you think would be most appropriate for your teen or child. So here we have the Sewing Basics workbook. Now I'm going to skip the first page because there is an access code that gets you to the online videos, and there are some printable templates and things like that. So when you do buy this, you do get access to those. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that, and we're going to jump right here to how to use this workbook. And then we have the units 1 to 10 supply list. Then we have the table of contents. So in this curriculum, there are 10 units. Unit 1 is basic sewing tools and terms. Unit 2 is learning your sewing machine. Unit 3 is the safety rules of sewing. Unit 4 is ready, set, sew. Unit 5 is my first project. And then in unit 6 to 9, you will start sewing a notions bag. It is a small drawstring bag to hold your thread and bobbin. Unit 6 is fabric store field trip. Unit 7 is using a pattern. Unit 8 is measuring. Unit 9 is what is a casing. And then Unit 10 is the basics of hand sewing. So we have, at the beginning of the unit, we have all the supplies needed. It gives you instructions for the parent. Lesson 1, there's flashcards that you can access online. Lesson 2, gonna make a sewing kit. Lesson 3, and then we get into Unit 2, learning your sewing machine. Again, we always have the supplies you need for the unit, always information for the parent. And there's these pages often that you are going to cut out, and if you have wall space or if you want to make a little binder for your child to keep all these important things in, that's what my daughter has, is a binder. And then Unit 3, the safety rules of sewing. So I love how it's very thorough before they even get into sewing. They learn iron safety and everything. Then Unit 4 is ready, set, sew. And so these types of pages, you actually cut these out and the student sews right on the paper. So if you don't have a sewing machine, you will need one. You do need a sewing machine for this curriculum. There's really no way around that. Here's another sewing practice page. And there are some more of these sewing practice pages online that you can print out if your child needs more practice. Lesson 2, and then Unit 5, my first project. They're going to make a fun shape bean bags. Got the patterns there. Then you're going to take a fabric store field trip. This is super fun. You have like a little scavenger hunt, and you have to get the materials for your first project. And then it talks about how to use a pattern. Everything is very thorough. Everything, it tells you exactly what to do, where to place your pins, how to iron, exactly step-by-step processes. I can sew, but I am a self-taught sewist, and so I've never really, learned the rules, follow the rules type of thing. And I see what a difference it makes when you take the time to iron the seams and pin correctly and all of that. I actually really do see the difference, and so I'm glad that my girls are learning how to sew correctly right from the beginning. And then we have our notions bag project, measuring. They're still working on this notion bags project through those couple units because, again, it's taking it step by step. They learn how to use the seam gauge and everything. Casing, what is casing? And then the basics of hand sewing, and for that you're going to be watching a lot of videos online. Okay, so this is the same as the girls curriculum, but let's get into this, which is the difference between the girls and the teens. All right, so we have the parent guide for teen level 1. So get started here. Where does my teen start? Your teen will start her journey with the Sewing Basics workbook, and then once she's finished that, she will be ready to start the Kids Can Sew Teen Level 1 workbook. Okay, and then it says the Kids Can Sew Teen Level 1 workbook is broken down into steps. and so forth. And so then it talks about a sewing binder. The little tip that I have is you do need your sewing machine manual. If you don't have that, you can likely find it online. That's what we did. And we put the actual sewing machine manual in the sewing binder. That way everything was together. And so I can't tell you how helpful that has been to have it all together, because there's been so many times we've needed to reference the sewing machine manual, and having it with the rest of her sewing charts and things have made it really, really easy. So anyways, so we've got a couple projects then. So after you work through the sewing basics workbook, then you really start on the fun stuff, the bigger projects. So we've got the Mandy backpack. And then it says, stop, read this before completing the next project. And this talks about how to take measurements and finding the pattern size, which is really important because they're going to be making comfy capris. And so, of course, you want to have the correct measurements and the correct pattern for that. Project 3 is chic tie purse. Project 4, Danny cap sleeve top. Project 5, funky flower. And Project 6, sunburst clutch. And then here it talks about finding your pattern size and how to measure. So we've got our Learn to Sew. This is the teen adult level, and there's 7 projects in here that we just talked about in the parent guide. Here we have the teen adult workbook and pattern pack. It has general directions here. Watch for the sewing symbols. Okay, so you're going to work through this here. Here's the measuring chart here. And then this is really handy because you can write in the measurements here. And so you're going to do that before you complete the project. And we go step by step through these projects. There's the comfy capris, the chic tie purse. We've got our patterns included right here. Okay. Can sew teen adult sewing mastery goals. If you have to provide proof of anything to like a charter school or to your school district or something like that, this would be a great page to include. But I wanted to actually talk about this because I thought this was so awesome. So when I did the workbook with my 10-year-old, obviously my teen has not started this yet, but when I did the 10-year-old's workbook, what we did is this was really handy because what you do is you cut these out and you take these to the fabric store with you, which is awesome because then you don't forget what you needed to buy. These are so nice. And then we have the body measurement, yardage, fabric types, and notions, and then a certificate of completion. And here you check off the projects you have sewn. So I hope that was helpful and gave you a great idea of the teen sewing curriculum. And again, go watch the girls video so you can see the difference in the projects. So that is the biggest difference between the girls and the teens. It's the projects. Okay, so the girls projects are on, a 6 to, 12-year-old level approximately, and then the teen project is, teen and adult level as far as, what would be interesting to them and what they would like and the pattern sizes and all of that. I'm going to link down below where you can find this, and you can follow them on Instagram as well. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you love all things homeschool, and I'll catch you in the next one.